Hi there, friends, and welcome to the Manouche channel. In today's video, we're going to learn how to make a totally natural red grape wine using a traditional Georgian technique. The goal of this series of videos is to empower you to create various beverages at home with the lowest cost and the simplest equipment that is accessible to everyone. So let's get started on making our grape wine together. Ingredients and equipment. The quantities in this video will give us about 50 liters, roughly 13 gallons of wine at around 11.5% alcohol, following one of Georgia's classic winemaking methods. 65 kilograms, about 143 pounds, of suitable red wine grapes. These are the dark blue-black varieties with a bluish bloom on the skin. Besides the perfect color and flavor, they also pack plenty of natural sugar for fermentation. Fermentation vessels big enough for the grapes, either 180-liter, 21-gallon bucket, or 240-liter, 10-gallon ones, with airtight lids that can take an airlock. Airlock to let CO2 escape while keeping oxygen out. Hydrometer for tracking density and knowing when fermentation is done, optional. Refractometer for checking starting sugar, estimating final alcohol, and even helping you pick the right grapes at the market, optional. Mesh bag for straining and pressing the pomace after primary fermentation. Dark bottles with corks or screw caps for bottling the finished wine. Glass carboys or jars with airlock-ready lids for secondary fermentation and aging. Any grape will technically ferment, but color, flavor, and alcohol level change with the variety. Typical table wines land between 10% and 14% ABV, depending on style and producer. That's why winemakers look for special grapes that have distinctive flavors, pigments, and lots of natural sugar. The grapes I'm using today are one of those wine varieties. They're that blue-black color you can see, and they measure 23 degrees Brix, which equals about 230 grams of sugar per liter, or a hydrometer reading near 1.089. Quick rule of thumb: every 1 degree Brix, approximately 10 grams sugar, can yield roughly 0.5% alcohol once fully fermented, so we're aiming for about 11.5% ABV. If you can get hold of a refractometer, bring it when you buy grapes. It's the easiest way to make sure the bunches you choose have enough sugar, or buy from sellers who really know their varieties. Important, the grapes shouldn't be washed or sprayed with water. They should come straight from the vineyard. Just pick out any cobwebs, bugs, rotten berries, leaves, or visible dirt before you start. Sanitize everything that'll touch the wine. Food-grade potassium metabisulfite works great. Dissolve 10 to 20 grams per liter of water and rinse your gear, or use any other food-safe sanitizer. Just stick to the recommended dosages. Step 1. Crushing the grapes. How you crush doesn't matter. Traditional foot stomping, a hand crusher, or just squeezing by hand if your batch is small. Stems and all go in. I'm going old school and stomping. As juice builds up, keep scooping it off and carry on until you've extracted at least 90% of the liquid. Pour the juice plus skins and pulp into your fermenter. If you've done a thorough job, it should look something like this. Primary fermentation is next. Primary fermentation. Grab a clean, preferably wooden paddle. You'll need it to punch down the cap over the coming days. Give the must a quick stir, seal the lid tight, pop on the airlock, and set the vessel somewhere between 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, 59 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep it in that range. Too cold or too hot will stall the yeast. Within a few hours to a day, you'll see bubbles through the airlock. During active fermentation, the skins float up and form a thick cap. If they sit exposed to air, they can mold or oxidize the wine, so push the cap under the juice regularly. Days 1 to 5. It rises fast, so you'll punch down 2 to 3 times a day. Later, once or twice is enough. Work quickly to minimize oxygen, reseal the lid, and watch the CO2 whoosh out again. Primary fermentation can take 7 to 14 days, depending on sugar, temperature, grape variety, and punch downs. Around day 10 to 11, you'll notice signs it's wrapping up. Bubbles slow to maybe 1 per 30 to 60 seconds. The cap stops floating, and everything smells nicely alcoholic. Straining. Set up 3 sanitized containers. In the first, collect the free-run wine. Just let it drain through a core strainer, no squeezing. Dump the juicy pomace into a second tub. When all the free-run is collected, press the pomace hard with a mesh bag, a small wine press, or anything you've got. Put that pressed wine in the third container. We keep these lots separate because the pressed wine carries more sediment and slightly rougher flavor, and we'll need to rack it more often. Speed matters here. Wine shouldn't sit in open air for long. Secondary fermentation. Right away, siphon each lot into sanitized glass carboys, filling them as high as possible. Leave only about 1 to 2 centimeters, half to 1 inch, headspace. Fit the airlocks, cover the carboys, or store them in the dark and keep them at roughly 15 degrees Celsius, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, for 1 month. You'll still see a slow trickle of bubbles. After that month, the wine is drinkable but cloudy and rough. Patience will reward you. After 1 month, you have 2 options. 1. Bottle now, accept a younger wine, and let it age in the bottle. Siphon carefully above the sediment into a container with a spigot, fill your bottles, leave a bit of headspace for residual gas, and seal tight. The wine will clear more over time, but sediment will form on the bottom, so pour gently later. 2. Go the purest route and bulk age. Rack siphon the wine off the lees into another sanitized glass vessel, again filling to the top. This time you can store it with a solid, airtight bung, no airlock needed, but keep oxygen out. Return it to the dark cool spot, 15 degrees Celsius, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, for another 2 months. Repeat the racking every 2 months for 6 to 8 months total. After that, bottle your crystal clear, mellow wine and enjoy. If you're as patient as I am and follow all the aging steps, your finished wine will look something like this. Cheers. I hope this video helps you whip up your favorite drink right at home. One more reminder, any amount of alcohol can be harmful, so please drink responsibly. And if you subscribe and give us a like, you'll unlock a whole library of step-by-step videos on homemade wine, vodka, whiskey, beer, brandy, and more. See you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.